Okay, wait. Now we're live. Oh my God, this is awful. Hey, Roland D.
Hey, what's going on, Tony? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, and Happy New Year to those who are starting to filter in. We're running a couple of minutes behind, of course, and it's always an issue that I have. But welcome to Hot Topics TV. Oh my God, you wouldn't believe I just made a banner, right?
You said you lost the banner?
No, I made a mistake. But you know what? That's live TV. We have to roll with it. And basically, it looks like I'm in a kung fu movie today. So those old kung fu movies where the voice comes out first and then the lips catch up. That's what's going on here today. But we do have to roll with it. There's nothing we can do. I'll just make it look like I'm not, my lips aren't moving. I don't know. Oh my God. Well, we got a interesting topic lined up tonight. One I never thought about. What about you?
I think we talked about it maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Did we?
I think it was in a different format though, but something similar. That's when we had the whole crew. I don't even remember that show.
Yeah.
That's when we had everybody. So about 4 or 5 years ago.
Well, I wasn't really sure. I really wasn't sure. But when I saw this video, I thought, wow, that's interesting. And I thought it would be good to address it because the video basically, said that how are you in an interracial relationship and then be pro-black? And I thought it was interesting because they had these, I think it was like 4 or 5 women, and all of them were from Great Britain. And I thought it was interesting. Well, one, their accents, I just adored. But they were talking about this issue. And I thought, wow, that's pretty slick right there, because it's a valid question. How can you be in a interracial relationship and be pro-black? Because I would think that, I don't want to get too far into it, not yet, because I got to recognize the sponsors. Hey, Miss Jacqueline, good to see you. Really good to see you. But I don't want to get into it right now because I do want to recognize our sponsors. We have to do that, of course. So, of course, the Hot Topics Talk Radio TV and the network is sponsored by Shades of Africa in 2 locations, in the city of Corona and in the city of Long Beach. Also sponsored by SPMG Media. Thank you, Miss Gina Smith, for making sure that we continue to be relevant all over the net and across the world. Also, Mr. Reggie Kearney, the editor-in-chief and also the host of Real World News TV with Urban Sentinel, and Miss Jamie E. of Ninth Island Cultural Club of Las Vegas. So I do want to recognize them and say thank you to them for always continuing to give us that support. So thanks to you. But hello, Miss Jacqueline, again. It's always good to see you. And I'm hoping that you will really enjoy tonight's show. It's going to be interesting because I'm going to be looking for you guys to comment on tonight's show, because this is where I think the rubber meets the road in being transparent as to how you feel about things when we talk about interracial relationships. Hey, Ms. Robin Marie, good to see you. So, again, like I was saying, I saw this video that was circulating on Facebook, and it had to do with these 4 or 5 women who were saying that, well, a couple of them were saying, no, you cannot be in an interracial relationship pro-black. But what do you think, Roland D?
I think you can. Me personally, I mean,
how so?
Well, for a multitude of reasons. I mean, for one, you want to drag religion into it. A lot of folks are quote unquote, Christians, or, believing in God and this and that. And if you read in the Bible, God said love all people. So you can't be, number one, you can't be a Christian and be having that kind of attitude, because, again, you're going against what you quote unquote believe in. So if you drag that into the equation, you got to look at it like, you never know who you're going to fall in love with. Now, if you pro-black, that's one thing, but just because you fall in love with another race don't make you no different in what you believe in. That's what you stand for. I have family members, I have nieces, I have nephews, I have biracial, in my family. So, of course, my brother who's deceased, I'm pretty sure he didn't think, well, I ain't going to be looked at as pro-black if I get with this Puerto Rican woman, and have a baby by her. You can't look at, whoever loves you. You can't look at things that magnitude and say, well, I ain't going to be looked at as pro-black if I get with a person like that. That's being kind of ignorant, if you ask me.
Well, let me ask you this question, though, because the first thing that I had thought about when I saw this video was, do you think it makes someone feel uncomfortable who is of non-color in an interracial relationship when someone is, and I hate to use the word spewing because that gives a negative tone, but when someone who is of non-color is with someone who is of color and they are, constantly, Black Lives Matter, Black Power, up with the people, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but
do you think that it causes some discomfort?
Well, for one, I don't see too many people even doing that no more. So I don't see a lot of people talking about Black Power, this and that. I mean, they're very scattered out, very few that's even doing that, still to this, at least in my eyes and what I see. I don't see so many folks really running around talking about Black Power and this and that. I mean, you may see folks screaming Black Lives Matter and this and that and so forth. But to me, that's all a big fraud too, because if someone gets shot around the corner, they're going to say they ain't snitching. They ain't telling. So again, we got a long way to go. We need to really make up our minds, where we're at, as one first. We need to get our own backyard straightened out before we can start really focusing on, what others think. I feel in a forced relationship, you just can't, put a color on who cares about you. We all bleed the same color, red. So I don't think you can put a stamp on, I'm going to look at different being not pro-black if I get with someone outside of my race. I just feel to me, it's just kind of silly.
Well, I understand that I agree with you. I'm not saying I disagree with you. I do agree with you that it is silly, but I'm talking about, I put myself in the standpoint of that woman of non-color. That's what I was trying to do. Okay. And how that person would feel. Because if we say that there should not be those color lines, those lines of division, then would you, in an interracial relationship, actually be okay with, doing, Black Lives Matter, getting out there with the rallies and all of that? Yeah. Would you do that?
Well, I would, because my personal love got nothing to do with my beliefs. If I'm still believing Black Lives Matter, that doesn't change it. That doesn't change anything at all. I mean,
I guess I'm trying to find out too, is that if, okay, you say that you wouldn't have a problem doing that and addressing Black issues.
Correct.
But if you did that, are you disrespecting the woman that you're with or the man that you're with? If it's, a woman doing it and the man is white.
Not at all. Because again, the woman I'm with, if she was out of color, different color than the woman I'm with, if she's not one of those people that I'm speaking about, then we're okay. But if she's one of those people, maybe she might feel offended, but she's not one of those people. And if she's not a person who, and she believes in what's right, because there is people out there that's not of our color that believe a lot of things going on in the world is wrong. They believe that. I don't believe they're for it. I believe they believe it's wrong. They know it's wrong. And you got some people that's out there that are for it, and you got some people that's not for it. I mean, again, I don't think it changed my views of what I feel about my people, about my personal love life. I don't feel that just because I'm for all black, I got to have a quote unquote black woman because I'm black power. I mean, that's crazy. You can't put a color barrier who cares for you or vice versa. You can't put a color barrier over them.
So if you knew
love, you can't choose who falls in love with you. You can't say, "Oh well, sister didn't fall in love with me. I can't date you because you're not a sister," and that would be a good. I mean, that's silly. If you are a so-called Christian, if you're following this Bible as well as being black power, but if you're following this Bible, then you gotta choose between. It's gonna be you all pro black, and that's it. And leave the Bible alone. You can't bring it all in one together and then discriminate God's people. Because those are his people too.
Okay, but see, the way I'm taking it from you, the way I'm taking it from you right now, I'm looking at it that you're saying people in a whole, not dealing with people from other races in a whole. I'm talking about in relationships because I'm going to use me as an example. Okay. So me as the example, I love all people, right? No matter what I do, I really love all people. And I only have an issue with people, even black people, who treat me bad or
Correct.
who have an agenda. Okay. Correct. So that is all good. That's all good. I just believe that people are people. I love all people. However, and I'm not going to say a but, because a but says that doesn't exist, or what I just said. What I am going to say is, however, I don't feel comfortable or have not felt comfortable in the past as far as dating outside my race. And that has to do only with the fact that I feel that I would share some kind of kinship with the man that is black that I'm dating. I feel that we share some of the same things. It's not saying that I can't share or have some of the same experiences that someone outside of my race have had, but I've still got that old school kind of thing going on, where I don't know how my daddy will look at it, but I love all people, but I would feel uncomfortable doing, Black Power and, Black Lives Matter if I were dating outside of my race. That's just because I would think about the person's feelings. Does that not matter?
I mean, for one, the person you're dealing with, you guys have to have a strong bond and because before you get with someone out of your race, you got to make sure that person is a strong individual. You got to make sure they're also not, weak-minded and don't have thin skin. That's first thing, if you're going to go that route. Because you got to understand, when you walk outside that door and we all together, you got to be ready to take on anything. You got to be ready to take on anybody, anyone who disagree, if it's either a white person or a black person. You got to be able to be strong on both sides, because if you're a weak-minded person, then it's easy for you to be broke down. If you feel that someone can throw a stone at you and you be like, okay, you'll break. But if you're strong and if you for that woman and that woman is for that man, nobody can break that bond. That's just my thought. I've dated outside of my race. So, I mean, again, and I lived in Las Vegas. So, I've seen it on both hands. I've seen how white people looked at me, and I've seen how black people looked at me. So, I've seen it on both ends. And I think people should just be comfortable within their selves. People come within their skin. If they're not, then you're gonna have an issue.
So, when we talk about the issues of, really, really getting into some, say for instance, say for instance, you're a black man or you're a black woman, and you meet this person outside of your race where you have, I mean, all kind of crazy connections, right?
Right.
And, you know, you feeling good about this person. They're feeling good about you. But then you start to, and they're okay with your race and the things that you are for,
Right.
and you're backing, right?
Right.
Now, say for instance, the two of you get together long term, you get together, you now are living in the same household, you're doing all these things together, you're under the same roof. And now you have to look at the fact that, oh, well, you know, I'm living in an all white neighborhood, but I need to go and promote the things that will be betterment for my black community,
Okay.
right? Do you think that can cause a problem because now you're stepping outside of that comfort zone that you've had with this person in this particular neighborhood? Do you involve them in on whatever it is that
you do,
promoting?
and that person should be comfortable enough to join with the march or whatever you're doing in the protest. They should be comfortable enough to join in that process with you. If they're down with you and standing for you, then if this is what you strongly believe in, and they're following your lead, then they'll be down for the cause. I mean, that goes back to what I was saying previously about having strong skin, because they shouldn't feel any kind of way from leaving out of their neighborhood or area to come rally for what you're for. I've seen a lot of people of different races marching in the Black Lives Matter, because that's here in Atlanta. There's a lot of diversity here, so I've seen a lot of white people marching with signs too, because again, they know things are wrong in this world. They know things are wrong.
Bad, yeah.
Yeah, and they kind of be like, well, dang, you know, of course they ain't heard about the slavery and, you know, and all this about the black. So they kind of think about that stuff like, okay, you know, this shit is not right. So some people get it. Some people do get it. You know, it's sad that some don't, but I must say that some people get it, especially in 2018.
Right. So where do you think the cutoff is, or where do you think that it goes to be too far?
Where it goes to be too far?
Yeah. When does it become where you've gone too far, where you know that, okay, this could make my mate uncomfortable?
I mean, I can't even answer that, because I mean, again, if you got somebody that's down with you and they for what you for, I mean, how would they go too far? I mean, what would go too far if they down? Now, again, we got to go back to what we said originally in the beginning. I don't see too many people going rah 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 black. I don't see a lot of that. Me personally, I don't. So I guess for me,
But you've got some people. But wait a minute, Roland. You've got some people who are so pro-black. It's almost to the point where they're not pro anything else.
Okay, but where are they at? Where are the people that you see?
I know a few.
Okay, I know a few. I see a few myself, but they're like this. They're like ants in a corner. There ain't too many of them. Believe me, because you still got the idiots running around, you know, that's still killing one another, black on black crime. So we have a whole bunch of other issues to address. So the people that's going black power and I'm all black on black, okay, they need to rally them other troops and get them aboard. Because worrying about somebody's personal love life, to me, is far from our problems right now. Look at your president. We have far more issues to worry about who's dating who right now. I just feel that, you know, I mean, we worry about all the wrong things. We worry about so much of the wrong things. We don't focus on what we need to be focusing on. We need to focus on getting each other in line, and we need to focus on, you know, helping one another out. We still sharing fight videos. We're still showing black people, getting their ass kicked and want to show on the internet. That's more entertaining to people. You know, so I feel we have a lot of more issues to deal with versus, you know, dealing with someone who's somebody personal, someone personal relationship. I mean, I just feel that, you know, it's a different, we're in a different time now. We need to kind of really just, you know, focus on what we need to focus on.
I mean, I agree. I want to hear some comments or see some comments from some of the people who are listening in or looking in. And I do have to apologize because you know what? I had said this when Roland D and I were going live. We were getting set up. I look like I'm part of a kung fu movie. I'm not sure why. My audio and my video is not syncing. I've been having this issue for a minute. So I've had IT people checking it out. It's not working. So just bear with us tonight, or bear with me, I should say, because Roland D is always perfect. The Dalai Lama has always got his shit together. Okay. It's a me thing. Anyway, but I just thought it was interesting. But I kind of like, you know, and I have to agree with you. I just thought I'd get, you know, your opinion on it. Not sure if we can carry it for another 30 minutes, but you know, I wanted to hear someone's opinion on it because like I said, I thought it was interesting.
I've been down that line before, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I was a little bit younger, 21, 22, but I've been there before. And I think another part, you gotta look at it like, okay, my friends, your friends. And in a scenario like that, both friends mix well. I mean, her friends had no issue with me. My friend had no issue with her because again, you can't like cross the line over somebody's love life. That's when it's going too far for others to be tampering because again, we have other issues we need to address. We have not even addressed half of the issues that we have as a community. We haven't even addressed that. We're not even on the same page. If you ask somebody right now, what's colors of the sky? One person's gonna say blue. One person's gonna say light blue. One person's gonna
green.
Say, I mean, right. No one. We can't agree on shit. We ain't never been able to agree on anything. So instead of focusing on things of this magnitude of, you know, well, someone's personal love life, let's focus on our community as a whole first. Then we could worry about, if you want to go there, worry about folks who they dating afterwards. But until we get together, I think we need to focus on what's the task at hand, and that's getting our community and getting unity within our community. That's my saying yet. I'm 42.
Right, and I'm not disagreeing with you, but it's not so much as that the focus, the topic or the focus would be on just the relationship part. The relationship part is almost secondary. Okay. But I'm talking about the fact that, you know, if you choose to be in a relationship with someone of non-color, the relationship pretty much, that's just going to be, it's going to be. But my whole concern and worry, because like I said, I do like all people. My concern basically focuses on how much are you making that person uncomfortable when you're constantly, you know, Black Lives Matter, the Black community this, the Black community that. That's my concern.
Well, that's the conversation.
You know.
Well, that's the conversation that you have to sit down and have with the individual. That goes back again. If you discuss that with that person and say, well, what does this offend you or what bothers you? Because if there's a problem, then you may want to think about moving forward that situation because, again, you're not going to change who you are. If you believe in, you know, Black Lives, you know, you're all pro-Black, that's fine. But I think there needs to be a discussion within those two parties to see where the mentality is at, to see exactly, okay, how does this work? I mean, does this fit in with us? Because, again, you don't want to offend anyone. You don't want to offend anyone at no level where you feel that well, he's always talking about Black Lives Matter and he's all pro-Black and, you know, they're not too sure because, you know, you raise doubt. If you raise doubt, you might as well go ahead and just say, okay, you know, I might not be able to, we might not be able to continue this because there's going to always be that doubt.
Okay.
But it needs to be a discussion.
Okay. So, Cousin Sean, do you have your glasses?
Yeah, I'm looking now. It's a few pro-Blacks here.
And some here in Tennessee, but they are not around as much as they were back in the day. And that's what you said.
That's what I'm trying to say. You don't see that like that. I'm telling you, Tony, we live in a whole different atmosphere now. We ain't back in the 70s, back in the 60s. Now, if it was like that, then okay, it'd be difficult. We were more unified then. We was way more unified back then. The marching, you know, the dress code. You know, we had a code. We had a business about ourselves. We don't got that now. We don't have that
So
now.
let me ask, so let me ask you this question, because like I said, my concern was always just saw this. I thought, that's interesting. So do you think that people who are still posting those kind of things are basically just keeping up the confusion, hatred, or, you know, I don't even know how else to put it. Do you think that that is a way of keeping up the confusion?
I believe so, but at the same time, you got to ask some people that's doing this: are these Christian people? Are these people atheists? I mean, do these people believe in any kind of religion? That's the question you got to ask these people, because if you believe in a religion and you're strong in your religion, as well as you're strong in your Black Lives Matter, you're strong in that, okay, you got to ask yourself, am I being fair? Yes, I believe in what I believe in, but why am I hating this person for something that happened in the 60s or 70s? You know, yeah, my ancestors, I hear people say all the time, well, my ancestors, some people didn't talk to their auntie, let alone they don't know their damn ancestors, but they just hoop and holler and use that platform of, well, our ancestors did this, they died for this and that. Okay, but again, we're in 2018. I mean, that's understandable. If that's what you believe, that's understandable, but we got to kind of move past it. We got to kind of move forward, because all white people don't hate us. I mean, all the races don't.
We don't hate our white. Right.
It's vice versa.
Right.
I know I have a lot of different races of friends that I deal with from here.
Well, yeah,
New York, I mean, all
too.
over. So I can't say, I have different people I deal with in all kind of different races at my job.
Right.
I mean, you know, in different states. I mean, you know, so I can't sit here. I have a good friend of mine who was from India, and this guy would give me his last dime if I asked for it, and it has never or anything else around me. Even when the 9/11 was going on, I mean, while people was calling a job and making them feel belittled, and I want to speak to an American, I was the only person that's trying to pump them up. Like, man, you know, don't let that bother you. You can't let people get up under your skin I don't call it minor ignorance. You can't let folks get up under your skin with their opinion on you or whatever else. Because again, if I don't think someone out of color, I don't give a damn what the hell you think. As long as I'm happy, that's all that matters. I mean, you can discredit me, whatever you want to do. That ain't going to change nothing for what I'm doing for my family, for my kid. It ain't going to change nothing for what I'm doing because of who I'm dating. I'm going to still be off my black people because that's what I believe in. But it ain't going to change nothing in my personal love life. I mean,
in just a relationship.
My relationship ain't going to change that.
So Sean is asking, hey, Tony, are you also referring to if someone uses the N word a lot around their mate? Well, I'm not one to use the word anyway, but I would think that would be uncomfortable to someone. I would think that it almost, not only is, I think it would be something that is of self-disrespect, but to use the word so freely around someone of another race.
Well, it happens all the time. Let me want to tell you, it happens all the time.
And I'm not, because I'm not going to be that. I'm not saying that I am ignorant to the fact that it doesn't happen or it does happen. I'm saying I think that it shouldn't be. I just don't believe that it should be, that you should not use. I don't care for the word. That's just me. I don't care for the word. So it doesn't, I don't think who is used around.
We need more Tonys out there because again, that word is used so freely now, it's ridiculous. But it's to the point now where it's kind of like a slang. You got too many people walk around saying nigger. You know, people walk around saying that. Nigga has become, I can even admit, I've called white people nigga. I call everybody nigga. It don't matter to me, black, white, Oriental, Japanese. I'll call everybody nigga because to me, I think at this stage of the game, it's crazy to say that, but it's honest God truth. Because I have, called other races nigga. Because it's become just a everyday slang, like talk. Yeah. Oh, what's up, man? I've called my Indian friend, and it's funny because I guess I didn't realize it at first, but we were just having a conversation. I'm like, oh, man, nigga, you crazy. But, I wasn't really You know, not paying attention. Oh, he's an Indian guy, or he might take this. I mean, just like it's a conversation. It's become a conversation piece. If you ask any rapper or anybody else, I'll give you an excellent example. Who do you think buy all the rappers' albums nowadays? It ain't black people. Okay, so they go to the concert. So they go to the concert, and the black folks on stage rapping. They be like, and the white people are reciting their lyrics. And when they're saying nigga, they supposed to stop. They're the ones buying your product. So if you're putting that kind of product out, you see what I'm saying? If you're putting that kind of product out, how can you be upset when another race use it when they're buying your product and they're buying your product? I'm buying your $16.99 album, so I like your lyrics, I like the song, so I'm gonna recite it word by word. I'm gonna pay you a $200 ticket fee to go see you at the big arena, and when you're on stage rapping your lyrics, I'm gonna rap with you. What's up, my nigga? I'm saying what's up, my nigga, too. Why is there a problem? You getting my money is not a problem. So this is what we have to kind of like wake the fuck up, because again, if people have a problem with it, then we need to stop with the bullshit and need to stop all the way around. All this, okay, black people can do it. Okay, the blacks can do it, but y'all can't do it. That's crazy. It's ignorant. It's very ignorant to say one person can say it, one person can't say it.
Yeah, but I just, you know what? Honestly, I just wish that people would stop using it.
Okay.
And the reason why, that's my, right. But see, that is my whole issue. I just wish that people would stop using it, because I don't care how you spell it and what the vernacular is supposed to be behind the spelling. It all lends to a negative connotation. It lends to a negative history. It lends to how we move forward as a people. And I'm not just saying black people, as people, because if we don't stop using the word, then like you said, you know, you using it in an everyday thing, but it has a whole lot of connection that is bad to it. And I don't care what the spelling is, the vernacular is the same. That's just the way I feel about it.
But I can honestly say right now, if another race used it, you ain't gonna see me all going crazy. Not at all. Not at all. Because I've had other races say the word, they say the nigga word around. I have other races say it. Didn't bother me at all. Why? Because again, I look at how I use the term and how I use it towards them. So again, unless we all stop using the term.
Exactly. I just think that the term should not be used, because
and it shouldn't be.
But we know what that term actually stands for. We know the history of it. And not until we became into this era where it is now being so freely used in music that the people who are using it when they're getting these studio booths, we know when they write, okay, they physically write, that if they don't write it Nigga, then they would have to spell it correctly, and they would probably say it the way it's supposed to be spelled, or the way it originally was supposed to be spelled.
Right.
So it's just, I don't understand how we got to that point where everything was okay. It's not okay.
Good question.
Because now we're making excuses. We're making excuses for people to say, you know what, I can call you this, and it just depends on how I pronounce it and how I spell it, if I chose to write it out. No, the meaning is the freaking same.
Yeah, well, like I said, nowadays, I hate to say it like that, but that's where we're at, right? That's where we're at right now. Because again, I see all races using it. Like I said, I'm not a saint. I'm guilty myself, because it's become just everyday conversation. Again, if you got if you got a platinum artist selling rapper that's selling millions of records, and he's saying nigga, but a white person that they're buying that album, they saying the same thing. How are we mad at that? Who do we blame for this? We have to look in the mirror first. Let's look in the mirror because, again, we can try to be pro-black, pro this and pro that, but until we clean up our own backyard, don't expect other folks to respect you or respect us because they're not. We're going to be the biggest joke, and we've been the biggest joke, and we'll continue to be the biggest joke.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. So if I were to ask you right now, Dalai Lama, stop using the word, would you?
I could try it, but I can't. But probably not. No.
Why not?
I probably wouldn't.
If you were conscious of it, if you are really conscious of this word, why couldn't you?
I could try, but it probably wouldn't happen. I'm not being honest. I could try.
Why?
I don't know, but it wouldn't happen though. I mean, I could try.
I mean, what does that word? What does it do for you in a conversation?
Does
it make you get your point over even more? Right, but what does it make you actually get your point over even more than what it would be if you didn't use the word? I mean, does it put emphasis on?
Depending on the conversation, depending on what the point I'm trying to get across. But for me, just my basic conversation, I wouldn't say I'm trying to get a point across by using that word. It just come out as a basic conversation. Or it just come out basic. I mean, it's a slang. I mean, I think it's more of a slang term now, more than anything. I mean, like Sean said, it's kind of hard to stop like cold turkey. I mean, I can try. I can try.
Okay.
I mean, I may see some little white kids, running across the street. Look at them little niggas over there. I mean, it's just a terminology, but I don't look at it like, I don't know. It's like you said, we got to start somewhere. I mean.
Okay, so I'm going to challenge you. Okay. I'm going to challenge you. And Sean, I'm going to challenge you. And anyone who is watching tonight's show, I am challenging you. Stop using the word. Stop. Okay, choose a word that you could use in replace of that.
I mean, like I said, I can try, but I mean, I can't get, because again, it's just something that's become like second language. I mean, it's something that's become, you're not really conscious of it because again, I called her a racist. I've called women. I mean, it's just like a term. And it's not like I'm doing it maliciously or, but it just could be a part of a conversation or, it just, it's hard to really explain.
How is it part of a conversation?
Depending on what the conversation is.
You're an intelligent man. No, wait. You're an intelligent man.
Okay,
you got a lot going for yourself. You can choose a word instead of that.
Okay, let's back up a little bit. Let's back up a little bit. I don't want to make it seem like, I'm just going around every day, hey, nigga. No, that's not it. I'm talking about some.
Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. I've lost camera. If you can still hear me, unfortunately, we've lost camera, we've lost feed. I'm not sure why, but we're trying to get it back as soon as we can. We are still on air, but if you can hear me, we've lost our feed. I'm not sure why, but we are trying to get it back as soon as we can. You are with Hot Topics Talk Radio TV, and again, we have lost our feed, and we're trying to get it back right now. We are still trying to get our feedback if you are still looking in. Okay, so I'm not sure. Okay, great. So we are back, or I am back. I'm trying to just get Dee back on. I'm sorry, you guys. Okay, so I'm trying to get Dee back on, and again, I apologize. This is some of the things that happen during live streaming. So we are trying to get it back. All right, so I'm communicating with Roland D right now. So I do apologize. It happens. And it's just always when, thanks for hanging in there with us, Sean. It always happens when we're like getting really deep into something. Always. It never, ever fails. Always. It happens that way. But hopefully Dee will be coming on back because I think we've got about 10 minutes left in the show. And I was actually, okay. Can you see my comments? Yes, I can see your comments. But actually I was trying to challenge Roland D and his cousin Sean, who is in the comments area. And I was challenging them to find out how they can stop using the N word. I think it's a huge challenge. And I think that we can do it. Just stop using the word. Stop using the word. So I'm challenging everybody. Don't use the word. Oh my gosh. Roland D. Let's see. Let me see what happened here. Okay, you guys, I do apologize. I'm trying to get him back on. And seems like he's having an issue getting there. So we're going to try and send him another link. So anyway, why you watch me while things fall apart. I'm trying to get Dee back on. So anyway, so, in the comment section, if you are still tuning in, tell me, are you able to give up that word? Can you give up using the N word? Roland D says, sometimes it becomes part of the conversation. I don't know how that happens. And what kind of conversation are you having that you are using that word? Let's see. I'm trying to send him another link. But can you stop using the word? That's my question, because it really does. It doesn't hold anything that's positive. Everything about it had been derived from humiliating the black race, during slavery. That's what it was used for, to degrade. So, what's the point? What really is the point? Still trying to get Roland D back, because, like I said, during the broadcast, when things were getting good, we ended up losing feed. So if you are seeing me, you can send me a quick message. Tell me that you see me. Okay? At least do that, so I'm not sitting here looking like I am talking to myself. All right? Hopefully Dee can get back. If not, then we are going to end the show on time at 8 o'clock. I'll just have to sit here and talk to you until the 9 o'clock hour, which is in about 8 minutes. And then we'll have to just continue on with another show next week. But if we don't get Dee back, okay, thank you. Thank you, Osborne, Mr. Osborne. I think it's Mr. Osborne. Hey, Miss Leslie, thank you. But again, these things do happen. They just always seem to happen when things are getting good. I don't know what that's about. It was just in the universe that it was going to happen. But I hate talking to myself when I'm on like this, because it's just too hard to do. But I want to challenge everybody. So, Leslie, do you use the N-word? Osborne, do you use the N-word? Okay, so if you guys are using it, stop it. You've got to stop using it, because what good does it do to use the word? I just put up Sean's comment. He says, me personally, I only use it when I'm in a conversation about sports with the fellas. The conversation gets really hyped. But that's the way it happens for him. Come on, Sean. You're an intelligent guy. Jonas, am I saying it right? Jonas Osborne, you're intelligent. Why are you using this word? Come on now. I don't care what context you're using it in. And I don't care how you choose to say it with the ER or the A. It's still the same. It still is derived from negative connotation. So let's stop doing it. As a people, we really do have to stop using it. I just don't agree with it. I just don't. But it's just second nature. Why is it second nature? How can it be second nature? You can't even claim that as second nature. That doesn't make sense. Why don't we try this? Why don't we try? That's the same thing. Oh my God. Serious? What's the difference? What is the difference in that spelling? Negus. Really? Seriously? What's the difference? I don't understand. And it doesn't matter how you spell it. Isn't it all the same thing? Come on, you guys. We got to do better. We have to do better as a people. And we have to do better as people, because when we use it, then other people think that they can use it. And no matter how you spell it, a person can say, oh, well, I was saying it like it was supposed to be, like it was spelled like Negus, like Mr. Osborne just said, right? But then they can use it against you negatively. So I don't even understand why you would want to use it. I just don't. That's just me. But I think that you have to stop using the word. Stop using the word. Because it doesn't matter how you spell it. It is all derived from the same thing. Okay, so, but, okay, the way that you're saying this now, you're saying that it's a term used for an African king. I don't think that, okay, the way it is spelled, the way you spelled it, as you were explaining how it's used for a African king, right? For an African king, would you pronounce it like you would with the negative connotation? Because negus, okay, is how you actually pronounce that word, okay? Not N-I. That's just totally different. Okay? So just stop. Just stop. That's all I can say. Leslie says, if you grow up around people who use the word on the norm, it's then implanted into their lexicon. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But we just have to now start to recondition ourselves. We do. We have to start reconditioning ourselves to do things differently. And I guarantee you, if we do that, then things can change for us personally and for us as a people. That's just my thought. That's my thought process on this. Anyway, as we were getting further and further to this, I'm still getting messages from D. He's not able to get back on. We have come about the 9 o'clock hour, and we only do 1 hour shows now. So I'm trying to send him a message back. So we're going to be closing this out. I'm glad that you guys hung in there. We were going through these technical issues, and I'm really hoping that you'll come on back next week. Because I've got another video that I was watching, and Roland D and I it was a toss up as to which one we were going to do tonight. But have you seen the video where the woman is, I mean, she is just on fire. And she's talking about potential, where men say, you know, he's got potential. And she was like, she was like laying into men. And I had actually posted the video and asked the opinions of men. And the funny thing is that a lot of men were saying, oh, wow, I wasn't listening. I didn't hear it, because they turned their ears off because of the way it was delivered. So we might come back and do something on that. Okay, let me put up your comment right quick. Mr. Osborne says, I have been trying to train myself to use different terms for an endearment with my people like fam and bro. And that is what you should be doing. That is what you should be doing. Okay. So yeah, just work on it. Work hard at doing that. I think it's greatly important. I think that is the first step of actually starting to respect ourselves as Black people, because I think that a lot of this is, it really sits on the fact that I think that we've lost a lot of respect for ourselves, and a lot of disrespect has been placed on our race, you know, from us, from our own race. So I think that we need to try and start changing things up, doing things differently. And by doing those things differently, it really will start with you. All right. And I guarantee you that you will even start to feel better about who you are and the people in who you represent. And I know that you guys have heard this 1,000 times, but we have a rich ancestry and a rich culture. And with that richness should come respect and loyalty to our race. Okay. Not saying that you can't love other people of other races. What I'm saying is that we now have to start being proud of who we are and the culture and the heritage of what we represent. So by doing something of this very small step, I think that it will make a great change, and you'll start to feel better even about who you are and the things that you have lined up for your future, for, you know, for whatever you want to do. You'll see a change. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get out of here because, like I said, we were trying to get out of here on time, and now I'm a minute over. And I don't want Dee to feel like I've left him out of anything. Okay. But come on back and join us next week on Wednesday night at 8:00 p.m. Pacific, 10 o'clock Central, and 11 o'clock on the East Coast. And remember, Hot Topics Talk Radio and the Hot Topics Talk Radio Network is sponsored by Shades of Africa in 2 locations in the city of Corona and in Long Beach. If you happen to visit their stores or even purchase their products online, mention the Hot Topics Talk Radio Network or any of the shows under the network, and you'll receive 15% off your purchase. Their motto or their tag is Shades of Africa for the mind, body, and spirit. Also sponsored by SPMG Media, Miss Gina Smith, who happens to be the CEO and founder of SPMG Media. She is one of our greatest sponsors as well. She makes sure that we continue to remain relevant all over the world now, because we are reaching 12 countries. And I personally am very proud of what we're doing here and the shows that we have been putting out. Also sponsored by Urban Sentinel. The Urban Sentinel is headed up and owned by Mr. Reggie Kearney, who happens to be the host right here on the network for Real World News TV. So make sure that you go to our website at hottopictalkradio.com. Check out our website. Make sure that you check out our sponsors. Support them like they support us, because with them supporting us, they're actually supporting you. Okay, giving you these shows every week. And make sure that you check out all of the information about the hosts for the different shows. You'll learn a whole lot about the people who actually are sitting behind these cameras every week. And then, last but not least, I want you to come back tomorrow night, Thursday night, for Man to Man Radio. They're actually going to be speaking on the issues of New Year's resolutions and how badly we make these resolutions and don't keep to them. So join these two guys tomorrow night. They're a lot of fun. Okay. The Man to Man Radio is hosted by Richard Hall and Chris Smith. So come on back tomorrow night under Man to Man TV and check them out. The show begins at 7:00 p.m. Pacific, 9:00 Central, and 10 o'clock on the East Coast. My name is Tony Breedlove, and I am so glad that I could sit here and be with you tonight. And I'm sure that Roland D would tell you the same if he could get back on. But again, we lost our feed tonight, and luckily I was able to get back on. But we really thank you for your continued support, and I'm really hoping that you'll come on back next week and join us at 8:00 p.m. Pacific. Again, thank you so much, and we will talk to you later. Have a good night, everybody. All right. It's been a pleasure. Good night.